All right, hello, hello. Looks like the sound is good. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. Um, Sorry about the delayed start today. The boys had it's weird. They had a 2 hour late start today and a 2 hour early dismissal tomorrow for parent teacher conferences. Um, and of course, yeah, with all the drama, I had to have a parent teacher conference. So yeah, um, 15 rain here. Yeah, it's 77 degrees here at Maryland. Yeah, actually, Todd told me this morning. He's like, yeah, you got hot. We got hot for a day. Now it's snow. We have a half inch of snow on the ground with big flakes. I'm like, what? I'm like, it's supposed to be 77. I got the windows open, shorts on. Yeah, yesterday was a little rain, a little warmth. I think it got to like 73 yesterday, but 77 today. So yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Maryland's gonna be 40 again by the end of the week. So um, also I have Kip is with me today because of the delayed start. Obviously, threw the schedules off a little bit this morning, so Melissa actually has a client meeting. So I have Buddy Buddy for the morning. So if you guys hear some grunting and stuff like that, it's him. Hopefully he doesn't get too upset. He is also sick now. He's the most recent sickie in the house. Jen's feeling better. She's back at school. Melissa's still got a little bit of a cough, but yeah, the baby's coughing and Daddy had him last night. So um, we'll see. I think last week was kind of like, oh, you haven't gotten sick yet. Let's try this. So yeah, I had Kipster was with me all night last night, coughing all over me. So he's got his little, eh, eh, his little like little old man cough. Um, but we'll see. So yeah, we're gonna test Daddy's immune system for real, right? Um, so hopefully, fingers crossed that he is good with his chewy toys today. So thus far this morning, I mean, obviously no economic news releases today, so there's really nothing we got to worry about as far as that comes in. Even overseas in yellow, there was some really low impact ones. As far as market movers, Swiss is the only one that's moving. Again, there were some economic headlines for them. Besides that, really everything is more or less flat. I mean, the pound dollar, pound's got a little bit of weakness. Again, you're seeing the euro pound up, pound yen down a little bit, pound dollar down a bit. You all right, buddy? And you're seeing a little bit of dollar strength coming across the board, but I wouldn't say massive amounts of it. Just with everything going on, kind of the resetting of the weekend. Really, I mean, I think the funniest headline is this one right here: that Russia's like, you know, if you amend your constitution that says you can't join anybody else, right? Which is like that's kind of broad. I don't know. Before he didn't have a problem with them joining the EU. Now maybe it's just NATO that they don't like. I don't know. But I don't know. Again, I think there's some translation what he actually means. And then this one, you have to recognize Crimea as Russia, which again, that annex piece, which I don't know. I thought they'd already kind of done that. I don't know. But then creating these other two states, I said that from the beginning. That's what they were going to try to go for. And then this one, if these conditions are met, then military action will stop at a moment. So if you agree to always be at risk and you give up all this territory that you technically is yours, we'll stop. So I don't know if that's actually the case. Um, that's the most recent. But I think only some, I think I told Todd, Todd's like, they're feeling the sanctions. I'm like, no, I feel like it hasn't gone the way that they thought. But, you know, again, is it lip service? Right? You can say all these things, right? But at the end of the day, I think this is really what they wanted. They wanted Crimea to be officially Russian and these two areas. And once they become independent states, then they will also be absorbed into Russia as well. So, um, you know, sanctions are not going to end. Why? Um, because of this. Germany has no plans to halt any Russian energy imports. So right now he's kind of, yeah, I got it. Um, he's got sanctions against him, but he knew sanctions were coming. Do I agree with like Visa and Mastercard? Like that's it. They're not going to work in Russia anymore. It's like okay, I highly doubt that Putin is putting a lot of stuff on, and his oligarchs are putting a lot on Visa and Mastercard. To be honest with you, but again, it's one of those things that again you're kind of hurting the public. And again, it's like you're hurting the public to remove that guy, but you're basically extorting the civilians. The civilians are the ones that are going to pay for it. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. Um, yeah. So, but that's it. I mean, really. I mean, besides that, the U.S. is thinking about banning Russian oil. It's 90,000 barrels. It's like nothing. We take in 4 million from Canada. 90,000 is not going to be a big deal. Plenty of places that could give us for that. Um, yeah. So yeah. There's nothing out there today. Even tomorrow morning, going in early tomorrow morning, we got nothing really. Looking at it on a yellow front, even you can see that we have some yen data. Nothing crazy. We have some industrial production, right? It's supposed to be good, right? It's positive. Retail sales positive. GDP numbers, right? All positive, right? Trade balances, I mean, it's good for CAD, right? But none of these are real major market movers. I mean, there's nothing in here that's even remotely good tomorrow. So again, it's going to be 2 days worth of headlines. So really, not a lot for us to really work with as far as kind of setting up news trades. So not every week is a a large news trading week. Later on the week is better. Thursday is a decent day with CPI, and again, it's not it's getting worse, right? Getting worse, and that's even before this energy stuff is kicking in. So you know, I'm trying to drink as much as I can. I had both children last night, so it was like one of those not sleep filled nights. Um, so with that, let's go over the chart. So I think we need to start off with VIX first off. We'll dive into currencies after this, but obviously we had a big spike. This is what we've been seeing. Every time we have a weekend, I mean, you have these big surges where you have the 25th, right? Here's a weekend surge, right? Here's a weekend surge, right? So you tend to get them. And I warned everybody that there was going to be some big gaps this week. It's going back down because none of the headlines are bad. Like there's not nuclear weapons flying. There's no cruise missiles. There was one. I guess one of the headlines I saw was that China is testing the Vietnamese waters. I guess I don't know if China has aspirations to go that way, but it was a they were testing waters. I guess, and it was kind of noteworthy that everybody's distracted with Russia, so let's test these waters over here. So I don't know if this is going to be the new thing or what, but anyway, I see the VIX continuing to deteriorate. You can see since it's opened, the UK open, it's just been going straight down. So it is up 3%, but at the same time, it is buddy. It is obviously pushing back down again and again. No headlines, no nuclear weapons, no nothing. It should continue to deteriorate. Dollar is also seeing a little bit of strength, but you can see it pulled back. It had a little bit of a gap up and kind of gave us kind of two pushes higher, and now we're kind of stabilizing in the middle of that range. Um, Again, no real news. I think CPI later on this week is something that's probably starting to get factored in because it is high. I joked about it earlier on the Nadex session as well. Powell's like, nah, Ukraine 0.25, but I mean, we're at a national average of $4 a gallon for gas. People are expecting it to be 4.50 potentially by the end of the week, especially if oil. I mean, it gave back its push, but it's still up at 119, right? Um, it's still, it's still much higher than the 96 that a lot of people were talking about at the beginning of the year. So, yeah, it's high. Um, so we should get a bit more movement in this one. As things kind of stabilize out. I think Powell can say 0.25, but I feel like he's going to have to go 0.5 at this point, unless the CPI is really, really disappointing this week. We'll see. All right, let's roll right in. So currency wise, we ended here last week. You can see there was a nice little pullback. So we'll clear a lot of this because again, we're not holding these positions over the weekend and kind of get new draws on it. This was the 4 hit and the Harry Potter North. Take that off. All right, so right now, this is a 30-minute. I don't really love kind of the top on there. It's okay. Let's see. Trying to find the next kind of decent 4-hour zone. Let's bring that across. Do I like any of these other ones? No, that's probably that one. All right, so here, this is a 4-hour zone up top. Actually, can we? There we go. There we go. All right, so I just wanted to change that for a big zone. So we know we got a big 4-hour zone up there at 47.62. This was actually a setup when I was doing the charts for yesterday for the zones. I actually did have that as a level, and we missed it by a little bit, obviously. But I think we keep focused on that one on the top side. I think, let's see, where do we push? I mean, we bounced off the 70 last week, so I guess we'll use that for our new draws. Let's see if there's anything kind of hidden in there in the middle. Um, there's a level of decent basing right around that 50. And again, it's kind of more behind the scenes at this point. Again, you had your 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's what it used as far as the bounce goes. I can bring this back down to a 1, change it to a black. Probably a decent target. I would say right now that would be a downside short, right? Look for that. Look for price to continue to drive down to this level, right? 72.83. Could we get a bounce off of that one? Yeah, I mean it's a decent base. You can see that it was an old level that hit 1, 2, 3, 4 is where the base came through, and then it based in 5. 5 is where it actually broke and then came and retested the hairy trade. Again, it is still a base. There is still a test, so we do have buyers. So again, profit target first, and then look for a potential confirmation bounce to take that one long. It needs to move about 70 pips, so it's at least a daily ATR. Then it needs to drive. He's fading. It's like nap time. So he's got his eyes closed, and he's got this like hand toy thing. It's like a glove, but he doesn't like to wear it. But it's got rubber, so he chews on it. And he's like, "Argh." He's got like 5 minutes before he's gonna pass out. If you guys hear the grunting, we'll see how well the noise canceling software works. So there we go. Aussie yen. Aussie yen again. We had this nice little setup last week. It didn't hold another time. So from the original, this ended up. Whoops. This ended up pushing through. Looks like number 2 or number 3 broke through. So again, the original trade was in and it drove all the way back down again. So let's delete these now and get new tops and things on there. Let's bring this up to 4 hour actually. Ooh, we got a racetrack over there. Let's go here. There's not really a great. We could probably use that one. Oops. What, buddy? All right, so we know we got a couple up top. There's that cough. Steal this one, bring it across. Take that off now. So we know we're clear right here. Go down 1 hourly. Yeah, look at that. It's pretty clear. There may be a little bit of a front run in there. Um, there may be something sitting right there. I'd like to see it when we approach that zone. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to use these tops. So we know we got something going on there. Let's see. We still really need to run it. The 50 is still good, right? If we pull this up, we can adjust it to the real high. Remember we drew these last week. We were talking about how far it could push. And again, look at that. The 50 is now confirmed, slicing right through the middle in the 61.8. So even though we made that slight adjustment, we talked about it coming up to that 85 level. I missed it by a little bit. That's where I drew it on Friday. And it ended up going just a little bit higher this morning or late last night at like 11 o'clock or 9 o'clock. So, yeah. So I would say that still watch these two levels. Again, the forecasting with fibs worked. What, buddy? What? Look for a potential long here. Again, profit target first. Look for the confirmation. Secondary one will be right below it, right here at 81. So I am going to throw an alert on this one. We're going to look for something here. It has hit twice, but we are going to throw. Let's change it to green. A green horizontal line. There we go. So again, decent level. 80, 84, 18. We got about 50 pips to go on that one. So this could be a later on today type thing. Euro yen. So Euro yen Harry Potter is out. Let's take some of these off. We'll drag this down now and see if the 50 pops up. Right around the 170. So interesting level. 1, 2, and then again the 3, 4 broke right here. Yes, buddy. Pull that. Buddy, your cough sounds horrible. So the only thing I like in this one right now is I do like this. There's a base down here. I'm not going to set that as a long though, only because the bottom candle, the bottom price is the same on both of them, so it is kind of more set up for a fail. Let's actually see if that is a zone. See if that's given us a zone farther back. It is. Really, it's more there. All right, so yeah, so that's a 4 hour zone that it's bouncing off of. So yeah, I would say right now probably not the best, the most ideal target. If you guys were going to run something inside of this, I mean, I guess it is a 23 pullback right now. Problem with shorting this one is it doesn't really have a whole lot of room to run. I mean, I guess it's got like 100 pips. I mean, I'm on a 4 hour, so it is pulling back. Let's see if we can get something a little bit easier. Yeah, we can quantify. There is a zone in there, but it may be already too late. Um, yes, buddy, buddy. Hmm. What? Uh-oh. Where's your toy go? Here, here. You're so tired. You're so tired. Um, Problem with this one is it's a nice short setup, right? But we're running into a 4 hour area of buyers, so I don't want to say, hey, listen, take this short down because again, we did just slam off a 4 hour zone. It is a great zone. We saw it in the past. You can see that it's bounced off of it twice now. It's barely been able to breach it all. So it is one of those levels where it's like, oh, we really don't want to be shorting into buyers. So, but for those of you that were looking for it, I mean, it is a 23.6 pullback in a larger down run. So it is an area you could have done it. There is, I don't know, can we see it on like a 30 minute? Yeah, you can see that there is a zone sitting right there. So it is kind of set up to where it's like, oh, look at that. It's right on the 23.6. It's not a perfect zone. I mean, yeah, you can see the wick over wick on it. So it's all right. If you're really looking for something, I don't think you're going to get a 1 to 3 in on that. Um, I'm going to guess depending on how you draw the zone. If you drew it from there, you're fine. Um, let's see. 1 to 3 is right there. So it's about half the way. So again, a little bit late to get entered in. Again, had you been drawing that one from earlier, I guess you could have grabbed it. But again, valid trade setup if you guys are already in. And actually, it should complete, but I wouldn't hold this one super long. Um, just watch out for that 4 hour zone. That's a decent zone to watch out for. All right, so euro dollar. We had a bunch of these levels drawn. I don't know. Did we do this? Was this 4 hour draws? Oh no, these are just areas where we could have potential bounces. Yeah, this was the top of this zone. We were looking for a potential bounce there. There was the bottom of it, and then here is the basing down below. You can see we got almost down to it, almost the 108 level, and that's a level that we thought we were going to see some sellers in. So, I don't even think we want to use that as a zone though. No, I mean, look, it's been there so much. I mean, it's been a very popular zone, right? Really, from here to here, it's been a very popular zone, but it's hit so much, it's not something I'm really looking to take a buy off of. Let me go one higher and see if I can get a decent. No, that's ugh. The bottom is so bad. Yes, buddy, buddy. I feel the same way. Yeah. Even on a daily, I don't really like these. All right, hold on here. I'll pick you up. So what I would look for on this one is we know it is a big level. We know that it's been supported down here. I would say, depending on how much movement we can get, this one isn't a huge mover right now, but it's got about 44 pips to the downside that it needs to move. And again, this is pure dollar strength, right? European weakness. Um, right now we're seeing the European strength come in, so we need a little bit of a reversal. It is 1023, could reverse back down again. This is one of those levels. If we haven't breached it or we hit this one at a European session, I feel like this could. All right, buddy, buddy, I'll take you out. I feel like this could be a pretty decent level for like a session open based trade. Unfortunately, there's no real news to act as a catalyst for this one. That's the one kind of problem that I have with this trade setup. It's all right, but again, Europe is going to be a lot more exposed. Any major headlines, with the CPI later this week, I think we will have some more dollar strength coming in. So I'd want to kind of time it where the European market could kind of take it over. I don't know. It's all right. I mean, like I said, it is a 4 hour zone. It is not the freshest of zone. It has been chopped up. You can see thus far it has been supported. So, you know, depending on what else you have, kind of currently out there, I think 108.31 could be a potential entry for you guys. Um, I don't know. We'll see what it looks like at the end. I think some of the other ones were better quality levels. Yen, you can see the pound yen is kind of slicing through and using these levels we drew. And again, it bounced off the lower one, came back up, and it is driving lower. We can take some of these other fib targets off. This one you can see ended up triggering from late last week. We hit up here. There was our target. Came up and grabbed the 50. Let's pull this. Let's pull this. Let's pull this level. Um, okay, so it is interesting the level of basing off this low right now. Let's move some of these horizontal lines. If this was able to maintain and hold the bottom, it would be interesting because this level of basing, whoops, no, this one right here just happens to be on the 50% retracement level. Okay. And it's after a big run up in price. So we're a bit far from it now to throw it on there and as alert. It's about 280 pips away. That could be a level for later in the week. Um, as far as going long, um, this is kind of what we're dealing with this zone, right? Even if I stretch it out, and again, I'm running out of space here, that was the last real pop, right? Nothing really is in here. We have kind of a small touch at this level. Again, touch here, touch here. So we do have kind of a blue warning area, but the next major level is not down to 148. Now, I don't know that we'll get down there. Um, this would be a lot of yen strength if we could, but I think these are the next two really kind of potential buy levels, much, much lower in the curve, unless it paints us something half decent here. So we know that this is an area where there's buyers, but they're not super clean. So if we got a decent base and a pop, if we get another push down with like a one candle base and then we start to ride up again, then again, could be an interesting, could be something. But right now, it was a big push down, a big push back up, a base, and then a big push right back down again. So it's kind of following the same trajectory. Um, Not really much in this one. So I mean, 62 pips, pound yen. We're at 57, so less than we're probably like 30% of daily ATR. Um, what is this? Breaking news. I always like to see the breaking news. Um, oh, let's take. Oh, okay. It's the Supreme Court is going to listen to Bill Cosby's case. Okay, not financial news. Don't need to talk about it. All right. So, yeah. I mean, as I said, are there levels below here? Yeah, but I mean, none of these. I would say probably the only one that's probably half decent is the base right here. Right? It did give us a little bit of a pullback and then a little bit of a spurt, so that could be something. Um, but that's it. Otherwise, I'm waiting for blue. This one has a bunch more room to run on it, so not much on this. So, like I said, I mean, obviously the short was what we are looking for. Again, it never even gave us a 23 pullback, but there was a small level that you could have taken here at the open, so it's all right. Kind of muted. It's only down point 4, so not the biggest mover on the day. Pound dollar. It's okay. What? What? What do you want? It's okay. Here, here. Um, so pound dollar continued to collapse. We were looking for that 132.90 last week, and it did. It rode down, but the data that came out on the fourth wasn't. It didn't give us the data that we wanted. So, um, ow. But what are you doing? What are you doing? Um, Let's see. Right now, I'm kind of looking at levels right now and saying where could we forecast off of? Where is it a potential kind of drop to? Um, that drop worked. That drop worked. I don't even like. This is like such a small little piece here. Whoa. All right, buddy, can't hit the buttons. Let's go back up to a higher time frame and see if we can find a decent level where we could forecast this one too. I mean, I'm trying to see. I almost want to say here, right? That's quite a big drop, but at the same time, it's the pound dollar. Um, this is the target we were looking for. So again, target is hit. Ow, 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 ow! You can't pull that. Um, buddy, you're not helping. I'd say, let's see, here. I don't love it, but there's a nice test there. Yeah, it got within close proximity. Um, hmm. I don't really love any of the like even on the 4 hour. I don't really love any of these over here. I mean, this is a decent pop here, but I mean, we spent so much time basing at that 128.77 level. Let's see, can I go far enough back and kind of dial it in? Um, it's actually a little bit lower. Actually, it's here on this one. You can see touch, touch, two front runs, and a touch here. There's the base. Hmm, Look at that. That's right in. There you go. Now it lines up exactly with that kind of 50%. So I'd say right now, if you're looking at, if you're short the pound dollar, I think you're okay for that one. There's a couple small little hiccups, but nothing that I'd be super worried about. Again, this fib draw that's done right now is based off of how do we get the 50 to a level that's got a decent pullback, decent base. It just happens to be when we drew the original fib and go back on the lower time frame on the 2 hour that it just happened to be that it ended up in the same exact area. So those coincidences are, they happen. But right now, I'd say being short this one is okay, particularly with the news we're seeing, and then again the overall market's reaction, what's happening with the pound, um, particularly with energy. So, if you guys are looking for a bounce, I think once this bounce comes down and our initial downside target is going to be 128.48, buddy, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. He just needs to sleep. Oh, kids. Here, you want this, Passy? Here, here. There you go. That's what you want. Yeah. So again, downward side target, 50% retracement. I think that's going to be kind of where this one is going. We'll look at it in the future. Kind of that basing level there. It was tested. It does come back up to a 50% off that fib forecast. Okay. Um, dollar CAD. Now, dollar CAD should be going absolutely insane right now to the downside. Oil's up, right? Why is this not moving? Unfortunately, the oil scenario kind of decouples itself a little bit. So let's remove a bunch of these fib draws. And again, I got to go back to the lower time frames. Probably looking at this like, why is there so much up here? It's like, yes, it's very, very complicated. Let's pull these off. There was your opening. Let's pull that off. This Harry Potter went through. Let's take this off. Let's take this off. Take this off. Again, these were from Friday. I'm not interested in the Friday trades at all. Let's pull that. That alert triggered and is off. That one Harry Pottered. That level's still valid. Let's draw a new fib top to bottom. Let's see, it didn't respect the 50 at all. Didn't really respect the 61.8 at all. So we're going to remove that. Let's pull from here up. Oh, that one hit 50 though. Actually, that's not a bad 50 draw either. I didn't see this one. It's a US. It's a here. Sorry. He's old enough that he like here. He knows what he wants, but then he like hits it with his hand by mistake. Here. There you go. Much better, buddy. So this is a decent trade. I missed this one. I didn't have this one drawn correctly. I hadn't updated the chart on this one, and it was super early. It was at 2 o'clock. I probably wouldn't have woken up anyway. Here. Yeah, you got to keep it in your mouth. It only works if you keep it in your mouth. All right, here. There you go. Close your eyes. There you go. I think 128.10 on this top zone here. Watch out for the top zone. I'm not as concerned about this little level. It kind of pushed through. So I think the 128.10, if we can get some type of a bounce, or unfortunately, there's no economic events. They're all tomorrow. Leading index, trade balance. Yeah, I'd say the way that it's set up right now, if we can get something over here at that level, that 128.06, I'm sorry, 128.10 could be a decent level to take a short off of. And again, does it have any reason to go down? Absolutely. With oil as high as it is, I mean, Canada absolutely loves this, and the United States is the one that's going to be paying the higher price for it. Not the gas supposedly isn't insane in Canada as well, but again, look for a short. But decent draw. I didn't catch this one, so hopefully some of you guys did. But yeah, that would have been nice. Dollar Swiss. So dollar Swiss missed our target by just a little tiny bit, and then it just took off. Yeah, this is the dollar strength we're seeing in the overall exposure. Last week we talked about kind of having tops and bottoms in this. We're kind of at the top area right now with all this push. I wouldn't actually be surprised if this turns and rolls. Dollar Swiss is a little bit precarious right now because, again, I mean, if they shoot a missile, Russia decides to shoot a missile at us, then obviously Swiss is going to go insane. But since the Europeans stepped in, they stepped in here. It's been a one-directional trade. right? Been a one directional trade. We had a little bit of a pullback for some profit taking between 7 and 8, and then all of a sudden, boom, off to the races again. So I'd say this one probably has a short in there. It does look like we've triggered, we have hit the area. Um, you know, it is 10:30. We are at our common reverse time. Buddy, I can't talk with your hand in my mouth. There you go. So you can see it did trigger. It has hit. So yeah, if you guys are looking for something, this is not horrible. Actually, the 1 to 3 worked out pretty well, right? The 1 to 3 is working out pretty well because again, the 1 to 3 target puts us right down here where all the wicks are starting. So that's probably where the buyers are. Not going to be the fastest of trade because again, it's been very, very grindy. It's a burst and grind. Um, but again, I would absolutely, without a doubt, trail the stop on this one. Back to the downside. Again, profit target should be approximately down here. Again, trail it on a lower time frame. Pound yen. So bring that across. That was a level from last week. We had 2 touches on it. We weren't looking to go long here, but again, parabolic move and parabolic retracement. We're back up to the start of the move from this weekend. So at this point, I'd say probably here. We can pull this from last week. Let's see. I would be worried about this level in here, though. I wouldn't be trading it short, but I would be watching it. It does make sense with the dollar Swiss, though. Um, let's see if we can get a pullback in. There is a test there, but I don't love it. I also do not like that one. Yeah, look at that. The 50 shows up right here, and it just sliced right through it like it was nothing. But and again, this is why I don't use fibs to start. I use fibs as confirmation to find hidden areas. Because look at this. There's no buyers or sellers, and it went whoop, hit it, and then kept going. And now it's hitting the 61.8. So absolute stop out if you guys would have been using fibs on that one. So yeah, I think top and bottom, I think we're still good. 114.88, 115.86. Is there some opportunities to go short in here? Yeah. I mean, here's one test right about here, and then again, obviously, there's another level smaller up top. With it being in a situation where it is set up for reversal, if we do see the dollar weakness come in, again, that helps this dollar Swiss trade push down. It also helps the dollar CAD trade, which is it's running into these sellers right now. Definitely don't like it. It's not an extreme, but the same trade. Dollar CAD setting up an area where there's a potential short. Dollar Swiss, potential short. Dollar yen, also the potential short area. And then right now you can see that look, this just put a failure to go higher inside of the Dixie. So they're all kind of lining up the same exact way. All right, let's cover oil. So oil, again, I drew this. This is just a gap. But as you guys know, on gaps, you can basically just draw them and consider them a large candle, depending on your broker software. Ooh, excuse me. Oops, dropped some water on them. Yeah, same parabolic move. So we can pull these off. There was a decent 50% pullback on oil, but let's clear it. And again, if I seem awkward right now, guys, it's because I'm holding him. He's now asleep, but I'm only using one hand with the mouse. Hmm. Right now, it's using the gap. Kind of looking at that level right there. Um, 120. God, I hate talking about oil at 120. And again, this would have been a target. You could have gotten long if you really wanted to, but you were already short. You were short from here, so this would have been a target first. And again, it hasn't given a confirmation touch to it. That would have been your target from the downside short. So nice run all the way back to fill the gap, touch it, and then took off. Um, again, I'm using that entire zone right now as kind of fib forecasting. Um, Again, there is a level sitting there. It's bisected right through it, right at the 50% retracement from that using that zone. Again, assuming that this is the area of buyers. So yeah, 120.61 if you guys are looking to find something. I thought awkward was your default mode. My default mode? I don't know about awkward, maybe aggressive. Yeah. Natural gas. Natural gas is having some problems. So it did end up, again, it filled that gap. It bounced off that gap. It came in base. So it looks like natural gas is going to continue to be negative today. Um, and again, like I said, I was wondering what it was going to do when it hit that level. It was close. And again, it hit it and bounced. And then base, it's like, yep, crashing through. For natural gas, what I would do is use this as an opportunity to kind of draw kind of tops and bottoms for the week. Um, right now, we're kind of sitting in the middle of this like last big push, right? Um, I'd say here. Again, not really concerned about that. It's already sliced through and kind of went back and forth. I'd say right now, I mean, this is kind of our top and bottom level, right? Um, there's a test of a level here. There's a base right there, and there's a test right there. Drop base and pop, and it tested, but I don't know if that's going to hold. Um, by the way, Ernest, speaking of aggressive, did you ever answer my question from Friday? I sent you that question about what are you using for burgers? I don't know. Did I? I don't know if I got an answer back from that one. I may have to do like minus 25 DKP points tonight or pip chip points, right? I feel like, hey, I was asking for that secret burger recipe, your mixture of blends. You did? Okay. I'll check it because if not, that's it, man. It's, minus pip chips. Um, yeah, I had a brisket. Was it brisket? Yeah, I think it was a brisket burgers the other day, and they were good. They were real good. Um, Debbie, see how that works? That was the fastest with extra tips as well. See, extra tip. There we go. Yeah, it was a long weekend with a wife sick and two children sick and the boys and lacrosse. I had an 8 a.m. lacrosse meeting on Sunday or on Saturday morning. So, but yeah, natural gas. I'd be a little bit more cautious with this one. You got a couple different levels in there. We're kind of sitting at the middle. I wouldn't be interested in taking it long from there. But again, it did go down and hit this retest area. Um, in close proximity to the 61.8. I think right now we look at this one top and bottom. Um, you know, right there, right there. 514 and 466. All right. Gold. So gold chopping back and forth. We kind of have a new top in here. Top was really excited. It was over 2000. If you guys heard my statement earlier, I mean, it did actually come back down from where we gapped. With the CPI totals that we have, I'd be very cautious going long. I know I said that last week, and it's like, yeah, you can go long, but I mean, everybody that got long here when it was at, it's like, oh my God, look at this. They took a big loss, and we went all the way back. I mean, this is a 30-minute chart. We hit 1917, and now all of a sudden, within hours, we're down at 1879. Yeah, we're high again, but even if we just do the same drop, that's where it puts us back down right into the 1893 level again. So I don't know. I just think gold is risky. I think if anything, I would be much more bearish gold right now, particularly with the way that everybody's handling interest rates. So again, not my favorite long target. I think a lot of people are like gold, flight to safety, but I don't. I don't think we have much to worry about. And again, this is one of those things too. Is this worth taking like some type of a weekly position with Nadex? Could be. Oh, by the way, speaking of other things that we don't have now, Ernest. So I got not awkward. I got aggressive the other day. That's like, listen, you're talking about adding products. You're not even fixing the products that you said that you were going to fix before. And he's like, no, no, no. It's Dan and I's job now. We're in like a different position. I was like, Dan told me before it was going to be fixed and it's not fixed. He's like, no, no, no. What we say goes now. We're the two in charge. I was like, okay, we'll see. So those weekly spreads, maybe they are coming. I have made my point. I have aggressively stated my opinion. So we will see. We will see. Um, like I said, suppose I was like, no, no, we agree with you. I was like, all right, but it hasn't happened yet. So yeah. Now I know IG slowed a lot of things down. Crypto.com, I don't know. Todd has his first official meeting today. So we will see what this all means. And silver. Silver just flat. It dropped down, came back up again. Really, I mean, if you wanted to draw from kind of where that last push was, right? There you go. No respect for the 50, no respect for the 61.8, and then kind of ran into buyers here. So let's do this from top to bottom. I wonder if people are going to be jumping and shorting. We had marked off the 26.05 last week. These are old levels. Ooh, look at that. I'm wondering if silver is going to turn back into a short because we are right at that 50 again. Um, anyway, again, we were looking for the short up top. We had talked about 26.05, 26.16 last week on Friday, and that's literally what we gapped up to. We were such in close proximity. It's like, oh, gap in there, gap in there, gap in there, and it did. And again, whether you got in here, here, or here, you were still good either way. Quite a big run to the downside. So, excuse me, you're good either way. All right, so let's go to indices and see what we have for indice wise. So last week we talked about one of our bottom levels being 42.43. That one actually triggered right at the European Open. You can see that 3 o'clock. This is actually the red candle is the 3 o'clock, and then went straight up. And then right when we hit 9:30, interestingly enough, this was a weird one. I was like, I don't know. I mean, on a technical basis, on a 15-minute, we had a base, we had a pullback, and it was there. And then over the weekend, bam, had the big gap. It did pull back. So, I mean, it was a tested level. Was I interested in shorting it at the open? No. I mean, at 9 o'clock when we were sitting right here, I didn't have a ton of interest. I knew it was at a gap level though, and I was kind of like, let's just let's let it go. It turned out to be a pretty nice short. I didn't grab it. Like I said, I was dealing with the boys, dropping them off the bus and stuff. So, but could you have taken it? Sure, it was a decent runner. Does it deserve all the negativity? Probably not. Let's see. Um, this one sucks, which is true already, right? The food chain, and again, a lot of this is more shipping. Yeah, both Ukraine and Russia are global powerhouses in the grains and oilseed complex. Um, yeah. So yeah, we'll see about that. We're already seeing it here. Um, let's see what this is. Exchanging more barrels of oil. Um, the economic disruption seen since the U.S. warning of. Oh, okay, it's just an analysis. Yeah, there's nothing really out there. I mean, just this, which is ridiculous. Yeah, there's no other additional news. So yeah, I mean, I think this is still just the weekend reaction. If we can get back down to the 43, I think that's a decent one. But again, those 15-minute, opening traders, again, all things removed, that should have been a short. So you guys should have done well with that. NQ, I mean, bringing it up to the same level. I actually don't like the NQ one as much. There's 9:15. So the 9:30 was already over here. It was already a bit high. We're in the same level. I think at this point, the way that it based, the way that it touched, the way that it touched, the way that it touched, this is 3. If we get a break out of the bottom, I think there'll be a short here. And again, this is being overly negative today, but um, there's your 1 to 3 to the downside. That would be a break of what? 13,524, pushing down to 13,378, right? So yeah. So let's see if we can get the base now. As we have the slowdown, we'll be looking for a pop and a confirmation short on that one. YM. YM, we actually marked that level because we were sitting here when I was meeting with Todd. And again, this one was marked from Nadex. So this was definitely a short. So again, there's another great little 15-minute short. And again, you can see it's not going as low. So I would say this one has a chance to go a little bit higher today too. But again, yeah, this is 2 for 3, right? 2 for 3. We have ES should have been in. NQ is not, by the way, so where it was. And YM, again, we drew with Todd earlier today. And Russell. Let's see. Russell was the early morning short. I'm sorry, the early morning long, and then 9:30 is here. Yeah, there's nothing up there. So that one was out. Let's draw and let's pull some of these from last week. Let's pull this guy. Let's pull this guy. All right, let's get some new things on here. Pull this off from last week. Let's pull that off from last week. Pull that off. This was a target. We got past it. We didn't need it. All right, let's pull here to here. Oh, look at that. Look at that Russell turn. Yeah, that's a 9:15 turn. So they were trying to front run it. Yeah. Again, quite an aggressive pull. And again, you may say, well, why am I using this one? Oh, it hasn't really pulled up since that time. So yeah, had you been running it from the 3rd of last week, last Thursday, all the way down to the overnight, yeah, you could have grabbed that 50. I wouldn't have traded that one. As far as the 15-minute goes, the strategy, we would not have traded that one. That is not a, there is a push there, but it's not a viable zone. I would not have been interested in. So looks like ES wise, yes. It looks like NQ wise, no. Because it was already above by the time the 9:15 candle clicked in. It was already up here. YM, absolutely. Yeah, we talked about that for Nadex. And then again, Russell. Fib wise, you could have grabbed it. Let's see. Did any of the other fibs match up? Let's see. That was pretty close too. So yeah, actually that would have been a decent one. And then was it yes? Yeah, that was close too. So yeah, it's close. So yeah. So a couple. This one actually didn't hit. So had you been trading the 50% on the Russell, you would not have gotten the entry in it. Or on yes, you would not have gotten entry here. Let's see if you would have gotten it here. Nope, you would not have gotten the entry here. YM, you actually would have tagged it. So it looks like one. Looks like YM and Russell. Yes, you would have missed it with Russell. I'm sorry, with S&P and NQ. That's that. So yeah. So a decent opening for a lot of people. Um, Apple's in an interesting spot right now. Level sitting right there. We come down. Apple looks like it could actually break more. Um, Interesting hold. Look at the hold in there. We do have this little gap right here. I'll be watching this level right here. Look at that. That's right around 800. That's an interesting level. Oops. Sorry, buddy. Oh, I hit him in the leg. It's all right. He's totally passed out. Um, this is a very interesting level for Tesla. And again, I'm not going to go super crazy into options, but being a round number, again, this is 805. I know you guys can't really see it right here. 805 to basically 796, right? That kind of, and again, I'm not dead on right now, but the fact that 800 runs right in the middle, it is an area of buyers, ascending candles in this one, and a little tiny bit of a gap. So it's definitely an area of buyers. This will be big for call spreads, right? Like real call spreads, not Nadex call spreads. Like bull call spreads will come from this area. So yeah, that'll be a big one. There may be a lot of buyers stepping. I'd be very curious to see what type of calls get thrown on that. But yeah, for option traders. All right, so that's kind of it. Yeah, minus 03, minus 07. They're starting to move a little bit more. Crypto is up, right? Bitcoin is up 1.79. Ethereum is up 2.6. Again, it rallied right back up to kind of the origin of its big drop, parabolic move and retracement. Again, looks like risk back on again. TLT is moving a little bit, although still considered down. And then obviously Dogecoin is trying, but it's lagging behind a little bit. AMC continuing the drop. It's funny with Batman, the Batman or whatever the heck the new Batman is called. Look at this, the big zone here. So yeah, position there. GME, also not a good bottom for them. So looks like that could be breaking 100 soon. So yeah, it's Monday. What's the dollar doing? Yeah, dollar's starting to roll back a little bit. Dollar's having some problems at 10:30. VIX is flattening out as well. We'll see if that turns. Let's see. Nope, nothing else. So all right, that's Monday trading for us. Let's go ahead and do the drawing. We're a couple minutes early, but that's okay. Right there. So, um, what do we got here? Silent, good seeing you again. That's twice in the last week. We are starting over. Briggs swept it last week with 1, 2, and 3. So we are in basically reset again, starting on a Monday. And we have Eki, Ernest, and Erwin. Cool. Got everybody in. All right. Let's go. Let's draw the winner. Let's see who starts off this week with a win. Like I said, it will be a new person. Even if Briggs wins, he only gets 25 for it. He doesn't get any more than that because it's only the 3 in a row. So, winner of today's drawing is Marina. It's been a while. I haven't seen her name up there for a good amount, right? Oops, not that one. Give her 25 to start the week off. I don't know. Maybe she's gonna start the next streak. Like I said, she's not too far behind. If she gets 100 and a 250, that gives her 400. She's just right behind Will. So I know. Look at that, girls coming back. So all right. With that said, there's not much else we can really talk about today. Like I said, it's just going to be headlines. There's absolutely nothing economic news base wise. Tomorrow we don't even have anything till 9 or 5:15. It's Australia speaking at a financial review business summit. So not a lot out there. Slow start of the week. Everything is back and loaded. So you know, I'd say watch the big one's going to be watch is watch oil, right? Watch oil, see if we can get up to that 120.61. Look for the indices to continue to collapse a little bit. And then again, you can use, look at the cryptos. I think cryptos are going to be something to watch out for this week as well. Watch them as a risk on, risk off type, scenario. And gold. Gold is up to 1983, but I think gold is definitely a short for later on this week. So with that said, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Remember, Nadex in the morning, and then we'll do our breakdown session tomorrow at noon. So with that said, you guys have a good trading day. And if you need anything, shoot me a message on Discord. I will be around today doing some work. Talk to you later. Bye bye.